Alright, what's going on, everybody? So Misfits just updated their pound for pound rankings, which I disagree with. So today I'll be giving you guys my personal pound for pound list based on skill. I know some people say influence, but it's pound for pound. So we're going to be talking about how good they are, how good their resume is, and this is my pound for pound ranking. But real quick, before I get into the video, 95% of you guys aren't subscribed. So if you like Misfits boxing, pro boxing, or UFC content, I post 2 to 4 times a week on this channel at least. So make sure you guys subscribe. I appreciate you. And I've seen the community's reaction. It seems like a lot of people disagree too. I've seen that Slim and Dean both disagreed. Big shocker there. They always have something to say. But I agree with them in this point. They both kind of got snubbed on this list. And I'll get to that in a second. But we even had like Ty Mitchell saying he should have been on the list. But you're a pro boxer. This is more so the crossover influencer rankings. I think that Misfits pros should have their own rankings. I think that's more than fair. Now, off the bat, I do not have KSI or Tommy Fury on my list. I disagree with them being on there because the only person they would fight on that list is maybe Darren Till, but Tommy pulled out and KSI just hasn't been active. So if he was active fighting like Darren Till, then sure. But I just removed them because it makes things more interesting having the 2 extra slots. So here's my list, boom. So you guys don't have to skip to the end of the video to see it. If you guys want to see my explanation through 10 to 1, which is what I'm going to do, then there you go. But there's my list. I'm pretty sure, I feel like it's reasonable. And I'm going to explain why in a second. So let's start with number 10, Josh Bruckner. So when you remove KSI and Tommy Fury, number 10 is actually pretty hard to put because there's a couple people that you could do. Adam Sala is 4-0, but he hasn't fought on Misfits, so that's why I didn't do it. And Josh Bruckner is 3-1. He's pretty skilled and powerful, so I put that into account too, obviously. He's beaten Temper. He lost to Salt Poppy. He beat Chase Demore, which is also on the pound for pound list, so that's another good reason why to put him on there. And he beat Tower Smith in 2019, but that was so long ago at that point. That was his first fight on KSI versus Logan Paul 2. Speaking about a long time ago. Holy shit, Unk status is approaching me, isn't it? But yeah, I think 3-1. He shows he has knockout power. He is always seeming like he hasn't been fighting. He isn't very active. He fights like 1 time a year. He fought in 2022, 2023, then 2024. And hasn't fought in 2025. So I would like to see him again because I think he has some real skill, and I think he deserves to be on this list, but I feel like with more activity, it will be more justified. I know why. I can see why some people disagree, but I don't. Now, number 9, I got Chase. Now, I know they had him higher, and I know if he sees this video, he's not going to be happy with me because he's the GOAT. I get it. But I just think that the other people ahead of him are more skilled and have a little bit better of resumes because yeah, Chase has taken pro fights and has stayed extremely active, and he is improving. I don't want to completely shit on Chase. He's been improving under Coach Gary. He really showed it in his most recent fight where he got a knockout over Tank Tolman, but he fought again since then. That's what I mean. He's just active, and I respect that about Chase. I really do. He fights a lot, and he's fighting Nathan Marsan on Misfits 22, so we'll see if he improves even more. But I really do respect Chase, and I think he's great for Misfits. He talks a lot of shit and is good for it. So, yeah, I have him at number 9. I'm not going to dread too long in every single pick, but there was a point where Chase Demore had 4 losses in a row. So, it takes quite a bit to climb back on the pound per pound rankings when you do that. You could even, I wanted to sneak Tempo on here, but it was tough. There's a lot there, so yeah. At number 8, I got Salt Poppy. Now, those 2 losses to Slim and Anthony Taylor back-to-back really knocked him down the list, but I think skill for skill, he could really be up there in the list, but he just needs to work his way back a little bit. But obviously we got to see what he does against Tony Ferguson, which he should smoke him. If he doesn't smoke Tony, then gosh, I got to say. But besides those 2 losses, he showed that he has real grit and a chin in the Amadeus Ferrari fight. He showed he has real skill in the King Kenny fight. Even before the King Kenny knockdown, he was just outclassing Kenny. His straight left hand is just a sniper. He's so accurate and so quick. And it seems like he finally found a weight where he feels comfortable. I'm one of the people that say that the Slim fight is a little bit impartial due to the weight cut. I think if Salt Poppy and Slim fought again, I think the Salt Poppy would beat him, but we don't know until then. So yeah, I got Salt at 8. Now at number 7, I have Lil Cracra, or Cracra, whatever the fuck. I still don't know what it is, but he might be the most skilled overall in all of Misfits. He may be even more skilled than like Darren Till and like Dean, I've talked about it all the time. I think Cray Cray beats Dean. That's why I think this fight should happen. Well, it's not why I think the fight should happen, but it'll be a good fight because they're both skilled. And obviously you guys seen where I put Dean on this list. I think Cray Cray could deserve to be right up there when it talked about skill pound for pound. He deserves that Dean fight because he is very good. He has very fast hands. He is the most technical by far. He works to the body. He moves well. And you can say he gets hit more than he should. So that's why the Dean fight is interesting. I'm not going to completely count out Dean, but his hands are just way too good. And obviously he's at number 7 because he lost to Yuddy Gang, which honestly is an honorable mention on this list. I thought about it, but it's just a lot. So many fighters to put at number 10. It was tough. So I almost kind of wish I put Yuddy at 10 now, but it is what it is. Yeah, Cray Cray deserves to be a bit higher because he deserves that Dean fight. If he wins, shoot him right up there because I think he is very, very good. At number 6, I got Jarvis because at this point, he's 5-1. He is very skilled for an influencer. And he keeps winning by TKO and KO. He has 4 of his 5 wins are by TKO or knockout. The only loss that he's had is against Gibb, and we've seen that Gibb is high on this list. But Jarvis really hasn't been boxing for too long. He's been taking it serious for about 2 years now. In 2021, he had the Michael Lee fight, but as like a beginning influencer fight, he didn't really show his skill there. He kind of did, but now he's one of the better ones in the influencer scene, I feel like. That's why he's champion at that division. He has some real dedication to the sport. I don't really see him doing much social media stuff. If it is, it's very simple Fortnite stuff or something like that. He's locked in. And his fight against Ben Williams, he was getting teed off on, but Ben Williams is absolute psycho at the beginning, but he ended up finishing him. It was a weird finish, but the only loss he had against Gibbs, so you really can't put Jarvis any lower from where he is, but I want to see him more active and defend his belt pretty soon. Now at number 5, I got Slim Alberher. Now, a lot of people dislike Slim for a lot of different reasons, but you cannot deny that he has some serious power in his hands. And he isn't the most technical, but he is always game and always willing to fight, not afraid to get hit. And you've seen that in fights like Ryan Taylor and Tom Zanetti. Those were absolute wars. He got outclassed by Gibb. He was getting outclassed by Salt Poppy until he gritted down at the end. Slim is very good at fighting his way back into fights and really digging deep. That's why I really respect Slim as a fighter. And he has serious power. He knocked out most of the fighters he's fought. And it's undeniable that he's kind of dangerous unless it's an Nissan Gibb that has elite footwork, elite combination punching. Gibb was just a bit too much for Slim, but I think when Salt Poppy beats Tony Ferguson, they need to run that rematch back. I do think Salt wins, but I still think it's a great fight. Now, at number 4, I got Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. Now, he's 7-7, but you guys got to look deep into the resume because a lot of his losses were to actual pro boxers before he went to Misfits, like Tommy Fury, like Chris Avila. Ryan Taylor as a draw is kind of crazy. I don't know why that happened. He beat Ashley Rax too, though. He lost to somebody like Idris Virgo, but after that, he won to Salt Poppy, King Kenny, Samuel Erickson, Gabe Silva, and then lost to Darren Till. But that 3-fight, 2-fight stint was only in a matter of a couple. It was in the same month, actually. He fought Erickson and Gabe Silva in the same month, so he just went on a crazy win streak. And he beat a lot of people on the list, so he's got to be high up on this list when it comes to influencers. Again, the only like Misfits fighter he's lost to is Darren Till. So technically, let's see, let's count through. I'm trying not to make this video way too long. But I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's 4-1. So I'm going to count it as 4-1 for him. Maybe 4-1-1 if you want to count the Ryan Taylor fight. But yeah, the AT has power. He just has experience that really carries him throughout these fights. He initially had a clinching problem, but he didn't in the Erickson and Gabe Silva fight. And Darren Till, but that's why I got smokes. But yeah, AT definitely deserves to be high in this list. He deserves to be higher than Salt Poppy and Slim. I guess you could debate him and Slim, but he's just fought more names and than Slim has at this point. Slim has been inactive before the Gibb fight and after, so Slim needs to be a little bit more active if he wants to be higher on the list. I know that Misfits made him not on the list at all, which is ridiculous, but yeah, he just needs to be less of a headache and fight more for Misfits, that's all. Now at number 3, we got a Nissan Gibb. He's 7-1, and he has made the most progress out of any influencer boxer besides, I guess you could say, like Jake Paul, KSI. He really dedicated himself to the sport. You can tell by the way he uses his feet. He has great lateral movement, great combination punching, and he's always had a good gas tank, but he has an unreal gas tank. Now, his resume, beating Slim when he was undefeated was huge. He beat Jarvis, which he beat him by unanimous decision. I also said that Jarvis is very good, so that shows the level that Gibb is at. And he beat McBroom twice, and I know McBroom isn't that experienced of a YouTube boxer, but I think he has some long-term potential, but I don't think he's going to fight again. But if he did, I think he could be dangerous. And he bounced back from that Jake Paul fight by beating Taylor Holder, who allegedly had this amateur experience, and he's very good. He beat him by unanimous decision, got robbed at the time, but it got reversed, luckily. But Gibb has been at it for a very long time. He's been dedicated. He has a real motivation to all of his fights. He has this motivation where he felt like he was against Misfits and against Slim, and KSI was against them. He really used that. He used the redemption arc for Taylor Holder. He used the redemption arc for McBroom for the Taylor Holder fight. And then the Kingpin tournament, he ended up facing McBroom and it got canceled. So we didn't end up seeing him versus King Kenny, but I think he probably would have dusted up King Kenny now knowing what we know. But yeah, Gibb is one of the best. If it wasn't for the one loss, I would have put him at number 2. But there's one more guy that's undefeated that kind of got slept on entirely by Misfits. Now at number 2, I got Dean the Great. Now, Misfits put him at number 9. That's ridiculous. I know that he's been a headache for the company for the past year and a half, avoiding the Lil Cray Cray fight when it was supposed to be the actual, it was like there was a tournament to have the opponent for Dean, and Dean has just been avoiding it. I don't think he likes the risk of potentially losing the Lil Cray Cray because he's not a big name, but it will be a great fight. But Dean's resume is good too. He's beat Waleed twice, and Waleed is very good. I know he's getting beat by Fox, Dean, but he is very good in perspective from skill to skill. 100%. He's beaten Pulley twice. Why did he fight Pulley twice? I just realized that. I don't know. He beat Yuddy, but that was a survivor tag. I don't know why they're even counting it. But, oh, maybe they didn't. It says exhibition. Never mind. I'm yapping. But he was having some trouble in that tag team fight. Yuddy was putting some hands on him. So I think even him versus Yuddy will be a little bit interesting. And I've been saying that Yuddy is very skilled too, and he's very long for that weight class. But Dean, he has the fastest hand speed in the company. I have no doubt about that. He has power, but at the same time, he seems like he struggles to find the shot because despite how much power he has, he only has 3 knockouts out of his 7 wins. So, and the thing is with Dean, the reason why Lil Cray Cray could be a good fight for him, or Lil Cray Cray could end up beating him, is he gets touched a bit too much in his fights. Pulley, in their fight, was putting some hands on him when he really shouldn't. Pulley isn't bad of an influencer boxer by any means, but Dean is supposed to be the guy. That's why I think him at number 9 is so crazy, because besides Jake Paul and KSI, he probably is the next best skilled influencer boxer. Even though he has some holes that make him very beatable, he is very skilled and very dangerous. It just seems like he doesn't fully lean into his potential sometimes. I just realized his name is Nuruddin Saeed Shabazz. Holy shit. Thank God his name's Dean the Great. I wouldn't say that every fight. But yeah, Dean is very good. So I don't know what Misfits is on number 9. Again, I know that he's a headache, but he is one of the best fighters or influencer boxers in the whole world. So him at number 2 makes a lot of sense. Number 1, I got Darren Till. Big shocker. I agree with Misfits on this one. He's been single-handedly carrying the main events. 3 main events in a row is crazy. He's been an absolute workhorse for Misfits, and it's not just because of that. He's absolutely dangerous. Like, he isn't even that great, like, footwork, like, all of that head movement. He could definitely move his head more, but his accuracy and power makes up for it. He has dangerous power in his straight left hand. He has a left uppercut that's very good, and he's been losing his lead hand more and more the more that he's been boxing. So I think he's going to be 4-0 after Luke Rockhold. I feel like that plays into his hands pretty well. And yeah, just his knockout ability makes him the most scary in the company. So I think that's why he deserves the pound for pound more than anything. There's no doubt that people in that weight class of Misfits are avoiding fighting him. after what happened in the Anthony Taylor, even though Anthony Taylor did move up for that fight. But somebody like Wade or something like that isn't going to want to face Darren Till, you know what I mean? That weight class needs to grow a little bit more anyways. But yeah, we see Chase Demore and people like that calling out everybody under the sun. I don't think he's mentioned Darren Till's name one time. So, I'm going to take a swig and make a video because it's my video. What you got to say about it? But, yeah, Darren Till definitely deserves number one. I'm not going to harp on it for too long because obviously I agree with Misfits. But that was my pound-for-pound list for Misfits. I agree with a good amount of it. Let me know if you guys prefer my list over theirs. So yeah, man, if you guys disagree, please let me know down below. Please let me know how much of a casual I am. It's good engagement, if anything. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that if you want to see more posts. Check out tomorrow. I'll be making my UFC, well, I guess technically Sunday morning, because these damn UFC events happening at 10 p.m. Starting at 10 p.m. Who does that favor? Who does that favor? Like, bro, who? But that's all I got for you guys today, man. Again, literally anything. I'm a small channel trying to grow, so liking, comment, subscribing, all of that helps the channel, so I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. God bless every single one of you, and peace out.
I think they do a show and stuff.
What's your favorite song?
Oh, and I can't explain that. I love music.
You love all kinds of music?
Yes, but except for hip-hop. Well,
You don't like hip-hop?
and no, not too much.
You know I've been rapping, I all be practicing, I'm hopping on top of the game. I'm spitting the fire, my phone, the light, your months, they call me Kane. Get people to talking about, I'm a walkers, I do not fuck with lames. People still hating them lyrical saying, cause Mo's igniting the flames.
Sign that pill, the pressure give you lecture when you sign that deal. World stand still, the devil offers something where you take that skill. Shit get real, and the pussy gobbing, going in like Batman. I don't need a shorty came right over and she backed up. Now we moving cause I'm fucking ways in the bathtub. Crazy how the fucking only started with a back rub. Now we in the city fucking dancing in the sack love. You steady fucking switching, stay up in your fucking lane. And shorty super soaker, I can hit your ass for range. Shorty doing ass and you knowing where it's going. Steady sipping codeine, yeah, you knowing in my potion.